Okay, so welcome, Jen. This is your interview after your SMART training, Somatic Memory Repatterning Technique. So you've just completed the 2-day live training with me and 9 other women. That happened like 3 days ago.
Mhm.
And we're just getting you on just to share your experience of the technique itself and the breakthroughs that you've experienced. So we're going to talk about where you felt your life was before the training. Now you've experienced the technique and what you feel has really shifted and changed in your life. So, what attracted you to the training? What was it about this specific method that you thought, yeah, I need to do this?
It's the fact that it's working with the body. There's an element of working with the mind, but I think working with the body is the biggest thing. And for me, I've stored a lot in my body, and it's been heavy. I've been walking around with it for years.
Yeah.
So to find something that's new and exciting, and working with the body, and also working with the limiting beliefs and finding out where it came from and the root cause, because sometimes that's quite exciting. So yeah, I mean, I followed you for a long time, and yeah, I just thought I've got to do it. It's something I really want to do, and it's yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, so we'll get into that now. So you've trained in RTT and other modalities, and you love those modalities, and you kind of working with clients with them. But you also wanted something because of your own experiences in life. You felt there was something somatic in the body that other therapies just weren't kind of touching.
Yeah,
And you've always described having this feeling in the body, and you knew it was kind of something that needed to be released. That's right, isn't it?
yeah. Like I said, RTT is fantastic, but one, it's only for a particular sort of client who's not afraid of hypnosis. Um, and two, I didn't feel like it was a right fit for me. I learned so much, but it wasn't a right fit for me. Like I said, I've been after something what is just, I'm not into like somatic dancing and things like that. It's got to be solid, and it's all about the grounding and finding what's in the body. It kind of excites me to find what's going on in the body and almost pulling it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, that's what drew me to Smart.
Yeah, that's really interesting because especially with your particular memory that you went back to and how it did affect your body. I mean, when we say it's in the body, it's like because the mind and body are connected, it's the memory, it's the somatic memory that's in the body and the automatic response that the body held on to.
Mhm.
So that's what was trapped in the body, and it's been yours as particular has been really, really interesting, the memory and how it really linked to the current day issues you were facing. So we'll tell everybody about that. But you came on the training, you had a lot of questions. You're a person who likes to have answers to things. You're quite analytical, and you want to know how things work.
Mhm.
You did have a bit of anxiety, is this going to work for me type of thing, and all of that, but just share what you discovered about yourself on doing the technique.
So obviously I came on the call, and I think when I introduced myself, it was just like an absolute scribble of just jargon, just everything just came out. And that's when you picked up that my inner critic is quite strong, which I don't think I was actually ever aware of. Um, so yeah, that was quite freeing for me in itself, because I wouldn't normally just come on and just give everything. Um, so yeah, that was what I came across first, as you mentioned, in my inner critic. So when I came to work on something, I thought I'm going to work on the inner critic. But then when the session started, I could feel again in my body the whole pressure and this tingling cold feeling in my legs.
Yeah.
So straight away, I thought I've got this fear of doing this smart session, practicing it, even though I'm practicing it with people who are in the same boat as me. There was this fear that just came up, and it was just that I could just feel it everywhere in my body. And I thought that's what I need to work with. So that's where we went.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I say, the exciting part is the memory that came up was me failing in sports day at
Yeah.
primary school,
Mhm.
doing the three-legged race. falling over, coming last. I felt like it was my fault. Felt like I couldn't help anybody. And then it's like that ha moment. The reason my legs feel so weak and like jelly, and relating that memory was just mind blowing. So yeah, to then go through the session, the SMART process, yeah, just it was a little bit confusing at first, but it's not something you can overthink. You can't overthink the process because there's just too much going on.
Yeah.
And I think again with RTT, I overthought the process. I wouldn't allow myself to go into hypnosis. I was questioning everything because, like you said, I've got questions. I'm quite analytical. I like to know the why. If I haven't got time to think about it, I don't. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, for me, ticked box there.
Yeah.
But yeah, because we'd got time at the end and I wasn't too tired, it was obviously your suggestion to just get rid of the scrabble that's going on in my head and this inner critic.
Yeah.
And yeah,
So
Zoom,
let's talk about that. So yeah, I found it fascinating because I remember when you kind of when you had a fear about kind of holding a session, had all the
yeah,
insecurities, and we were like, okay, tell us what's happening in your body. And you just kept saying, my legs feel like cement and they're so weak. And we were like, right, okay, and cold. And
yeah,
okay, and then we helped you locate the memory. So it's just a gentle visualization process. And the first ever memory that you came to was you in sports day, and you'd done a three-legged race. You'd fallen on the floor, lost the race, obviously let the partner down that you were doing the
mhm,
race. It felt like everybody was laughing at you, as kids do. The whole world view changed, like your perspective on the world changed. Like I think you said, uh, I can't remember your exact words now, but it looked different. So when we do go into a little bit of trauma and shock, our perspective on shapes and sizes in the world and textures
yeah.
change.
Everyone looked huge
Yes.
and the ground was really weak, as
Yeah.
if it was like it could just suck me in.
Yes.
So yeah,
So that's a really flooding emotional response on the nervous system. So as you learn on the training, that gets encoded in the brain and the amygdala and the hippocampus. And then every time there's a perceived threat of that throughout our life, that memory gets reacted, the amygdala and the memory get reactivated, and the nervous system has the same response to when it first occurred. So
yeah,
when you were thinking about working with people, like doing sessions, RTT, all of that, just helping people in the role that you are in, you would get that same reactivation. You didn't understand why, but you had this overwhelming sense of letting people down. All of this would just and it would make you feel like you were procrastinating and putting it off when you were just going into this fight, flight, freeze response based on this really old memory of when you were a toddler at sports day. Could you have ever imagined that that's what was going on for you as an adult? We just don't, do we?
no, never.
It's
It's quite
crazy.
funny when you think when you
I know.
pair it up, it's funny.
Yeah, but it's just how we operate, isn't it? As the
Mm,
brain, body, and nervous system. So when we located the memory, we did the SMART technique, and then it all calmed down. But I think, yeah, so you were highly reactivated in that memory. I think it was a 9 out of 10. So the
yeah,
emotional response to recalling that memory was at its peak, really, at a 9 out of 10. But then we got you right down to a zero, I think, probably because we,
it was very low. I think it was a 1-0.
yeah,
And I remember the
and
floor,
quickly
when I
as
thought
well.
about the memory, it was very solid. That's the one thing I noticed. The floor was just really solid and grounded. So more than the number, it was the feeling of the floor. Just it was
Yeah,
just solid. The grass that I was running on, well, fell on, no longer was like wobbly and
yeah.
overwhelming.
Distorted.
It was just, yeah,
So the
solid.
emotional intensity changed, and then your whole perspective on the event can be moved out of the hippocampus, brought to the prefrontal cortex, and reorganized. and then it no longer tags it as a threat anymore. And then we had time because we got you there quite quickly. So we were like, okay, let's work on. And you'd been talking over the weekend about this real inner conflict that you have. You feel like you have this kind of voice, this external voice. You've named it Barry, and other voices, like parental voices that kind of, talk to us as they do. We call them the inner critic. And that was really, really strong. And you told us how it affects you on a daily basis. You know exactly when it's going to kick in. It relates a lot to your son and, what you wanting to protect him and the fear you have around him going out. And you knew that actually that was massive in your life, didn't you? So tell us about what you've noticed around the changes in that.
So again, we only did one SMART process on that, and that was really intense because I've just wasted it's amazing how much energy I've wasted arguing with this conflict, and I didn't realize I was doing it because it had become such a part of my life. Even though I was aware of it and I'd given it a name and I knew when it was going to pop up and I kind of knew how to help it, it wasn't until I had that session and I, it's almost like it's still there, but it's just so much calmer. I'm not arguing with it. There's no conflict. And that for me is huge because, like I said, I knew it was there. I knew there was a voice there. I hear my mom's voice daily, the worrying about my son. But yeah, there was a little bit of, after the session, there was a little bit of confusion and uncertainty with what am I supposed to do now? It's so quiet. What am I supposed to do now? It's not gone, but it's not arguing with me. And there was a little bit of I wasn't scared, but what I don't want to fill this void with something bad. And that's where, you stepped in and said, I've got the tools now. I can work on the confusion and the uncertainty.
Yeah.
And it was just quiet in my head, which was like amazing.
Amazing. Because how long have you had this inner conflict in this voice for?
For as long as I can remember. Honestly, as long as I can remember, I've had this little inner voice.
Since a child or an
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, yes, it's a child.
Yeah.
It's a child.
Oh, gosh. And it's been that intense for you?
Yeah.
Time, yeah. That must have been very, very draining then.
Yeah. And to think of just the amount of energy I've wasted on it, just tit for tatting with this voice in my head. Trying to justify the voices and what people have said, and
no one wants to live like that, do they?
No.
So well done you. So so after the so I explained on the training, didn't I, that if we go in and we do kind of rewire a core identity, it kind of lights up the whole network a bit. So when people are no longer attached, even though it's not an unhealthy attachment, it's a natural survival instinct attachment to the fear because it's designed to keep you safe anyway. But when that's no longer there and you've identified with it for so long, it is a bit of a slight identity crisis that happens.
Yeah.
I've noticed it a few times where people are like, well, oh my God, like I've been that way for like, I don't know, 20, 30 years. Like, what the hell do we do now with that? That can be quite destabilizing, even though you don't want it and you want rid of it. It's that, okay, right, okay, now I don't have it. What now?
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. You have the tools. So we do the kind of the 3 core conditions where we do all the techniques, and you very wisely used the technique on the emotions of feeling confused, of feeling like a little bit out of kilter, like a part of you's just gone and you don't know how to replace it.
Yeah.
So it was a very good move to then do the SMART technique on those feelings. So tell us what happened after that then.
That was just, it just kind of shifted everything. I didn't get emotional at anything in terms of the uncertainty. It was just, I think, like I said to you on the phone, it was like there was this portal there, and I was really confused as whether I was supposed to step through it and into this new identity, or whether I was supposed to stay.
Yeah.
So as soon as I'd done that, it's like everything had just shifted. Like the portal was no longer there because it wasn't a big thing.
Okay.
It had just taken the edge off
Yeah.
being this, well, the scariness of being this new person. And yeah, like I say, there was no emotion that came up as such. There was just these feelings in
Yeah.
my body, and just the clearness of, yeah, it's not like, shall I stay, shall I go, shall I do this, shall I
Yeah.
do that. It kind of just evaporated and became normal.
Yes, and that's because you're regulating your nervous system. So choices and life, it doesn't feel overwhelming because you're not overwhelmed.
Yeah, that's exactly, the overwhelm had gone from it. And sometimes, because I'm an overthinker, it was very much like, well, if I stay here, the voice is going to come back. I didn't allow myself to trust, and that's another thing that came up. It was just, you have to trust the process, and yeah, I
Yeah.
did.
So what have you noticed now? Because your first thing that you wanted to work on straight away was the anxiety that kind of overwhelms you when you think about doing a session. And you've got a session set up with one of the other ladies, and you said you've got natural kind of curiosity about it. How's it going to go? But there aren't those overwhelming dread where you're thinking, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, the overwhelming dread was more, I'm not going to be able to help them. I
Yeah,
was putting so much pressure on myself, and it's not down to me to help. All I can do is be there and create space and give them the tools to help themselves. So that's what came to mind. It was sort of, I allow myself now to have that natural little bit of anxiety. It's gonna happen. I'm meeting new people if I'm going on these calls. I've got new bits and pieces that I've got to learn of this person. So I allow that to be there now. But at first it was just like, no, I just wanted to run as far away as possible, but my legs wouldn't take me because I've got this crazy feeling. So yeah, I feel really quite excited about doing this session on Friday.
I'm really excited for you. And you've got a business and you're wanting to help midlife women, aren't you?
Yes.
Who are
Yeah.
kind of feeling the effects of perimenopause and maybe a bit of emotional overload and burnout. So, this technique will really, really help people, along with all the other amazing things you do, RTT and all the other bits. This technique really will help you make major breakthroughs. You've
Yeah,
experienced it firsthand yourself, so you're walking the walk and talking the talk. So,
exactly.
where can people find you if they want to check you out?
Well, I've got my new little Instagram because I've had the confidence to like start posting things and getting my feelers out there. So it's called the Frazzled Midlife Club.
Love it.
And it's just a little bit humorous at the minute
Yeah.
to start with. And, all us women are going to go through it. It's going to happen to the best of us. We're
It
all on
is.
that train wreck together.
Yeah, it's helping people regulate the nervous system, isn't it? Because just a point, because we talked about this, you said you had that many thoughts going on in your head that you couldn't actually get clear on your business, and now you feel clear.
And now I feel really clear, really, really clear in terms of, I know what I want to do. I know what I want to do it for, what my values are. And it's just having these extra few days to have just given myself that rest, and the voice has gone quiet. So it's not like, oh, you should be doing that to prove you can do that for somebody, and you should be doing this and this and this. It's, what do I want to do and what's important to me? And it's something I'm going through. It's something I can relate to. And I'm reading books on it. So I want to share my knowledge and I want to use this smart technique to help women
Yeah.
along this crazy journey.
I know. Oh, well done. I'm so excited for you. I'm so happy that you did the training and that you're going to share it with people. Amazing.
Yeah,
Well done, Jen. So,
thank you so much.
what's the Instagram called again?
It's called the Frazzled Midlife Club.
The Frazzled Midlife Club. Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
put links in the video as well. Thank you, Jen. Excited
Thank you
for you.
so, so much.